Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to Professor Academy's UGC NET Sociology class. So this is a previous year questions discussion session. So previous studying or going through previous year questions is so important because your exams are almost here. So this is a time for you to go through all the units you already studied. So it is a time for revision. So previous year questions are really important. Working out previous year questions are so important. Okay. So today we are going to discuss PYQs from Unit 2, Research Methodology and Methods. Okay, it is a very important unit in which different research methods, research designs, sampling, different type of scales we use. Okay, so methods and methodologies are discussed in this unit. Okay, so we will be discussing important questions which were asked in the previous examinations. Okay. So let's go to our first question. Okay, so this is our first question. The qualities of good research are. Okay, what are the qualities of a good research? And we have 5 options given here. Good research is systematic. Good research is logical. Good research is hypothetical. Good research is empirical. Good research is replicable. Okay, among this, what are the qualities of a good research? Okay, so first option, good research is systematic, which is true, isn't it? Good research is, of course, it is systematic. Then option B, good research is logical. That is also true. Logic is a big part of research. So good research is logical. Then option C, good research is hypothetical. Can we say it like that? Because in some research studies, we may not have a hypothesis. So we cannot say that good research is always hypothetical. That is a wrong statement. Some research studies and most of the studies will have a hypothesis, but even if there isn't a hypothesis, that is also fine. Okay, so some studies have hypothesis and some other research studies may not have hypothesis, so we cannot say that always a good research have hypothesis. So that statement is wrong. Then option D, good research is empirical. That is also true. Then good research is replicable. Of course, good research will be always replicable. Okay, so options A, B, D, and E are true regarding a good research. So we can go with option 3, A, B, D, and E. Okay. Next question. Okay, so that is the right answer. Let's move to our next question. The value of the middle item of series when it is arranged in ascending or descending order is called. Okay, so we have a very simple question. When we arrange a series in an ascending order or descending order, what is the value of the middle item is called? Okay, we use this to identify the averages. Okay, so what is it called when the series is arranged in, what is the middle item is called, or the, we can say, if it is a number series, when we arrange the number series in ascending or descending order, the number which comes in the middle, what we call that number? And the options are mode, median, mean, average. Very simple question. The right answer is median. Median is the value of the middle item of the series when it is arranged in ascending or descending order. Okay. Next question. Basic steps in an exploratory research design are. Okay. So 4 steps are given here. So among these 4 steps, you have to find out the steps of exploratory research design. Okay, and the steps are the survey of literature, preparing an interview schedule, the experience survey, the analysis of insight stimulating examples. Among this, you have to find out the basic steps of an exploratory research design. Okay. So what is an exploratory research design? So this kind of a research design is used in order to explore a problem or issue when there is only a limited information is only available. Okay, we use this research design when only a limited information is available. Then what are the main goals of this research design? This design is mainly used to get insights and understanding, which we can later used or which we can later inform more structured research. Okay, so basically, this exploratory research design is used to get insights and understanding of a problem or issue. And these are the basic steps of exploratory research design. First, identify the research problem, then literature review, then formulate hypothesis or research question, then select research methods, and after that data collection, then data analysis, interpret findings, then refine research questions or hypothesis, and after that we report our findings. Then after reporting our findings, then we have to identify next step. Okay, so these are the basic steps of an exploratory research design. So back to our question. Among this, what are the basic steps of an exploratory research design? And if you go through the options, we can see that all of these are different steps of an exploratory research design. Okay, so is it clear? So we can go with option 4, A, B, C, and D. Okay. Next question. What is the correct sequence of research after the collection of data? Okay, so we know that the process of research includes different stages, and once after we collect our data, what are the correct sequence, or you have to arrange these options or these stages of research in correct order. After, so all these stages comes after collection of data, and you have to arrange these steps or stages in correct order. Okay, so the stages are screening of filled tool, coding, tabulation, and report writing. Okay, so these are the stages, and if you look at this, it's so simple. It is already in the correct order. Okay, so first comes after collection of data, then we would screen our field tool. Okay, we use different types of tools to collect data. Then after collecting data, we would screen our tool which we use for collecting data, and after that we would code our results. Then we do a tabulation, and after that we will write our report. Okay, so it is already in the correct sequence. So the right answer is option 3, A, B, C, and D. Okay. Next question. The study of people using participant observation and face-to-face interviewing is called. Okay. The method which we in which we use participant observation and face-to-face interviewing. And the options are phenomenology, social mapping, ethnography, and epidemiology. Okay, so the right answer is ethnography. Okay, so in ethnographic studies, we use participant observation and face-to-face interviewing. So ethnography means the systematic study and detailed description of people, cultures, and communities. Okay, so that is ethnography. And ethnography focuses on studying the social practices, social behaviors, different beliefs in the society, and experiences of a group of people by immersing the researcher in the community being studied. So the researcher would himself or herself become a part of the community being studied. Okay, that is the speciality of ethnography. Next question. Which of the following is not a primary data? Okay, not a primary data. And the options are mailed questionnaire, direct personal interview, material published by government, case study material. Okay, so mailed questionnaire, if the researcher is directly sending the questionnaire or mailing the questionnaire and collecting data, that is of course a primary data. Then direct personal interview, by conducting direct personal interview, we are getting primary data. Then material published by government, that is not a primary data, that is a secondary data. Okay, materials which is already published by government is actually secondary data. Okay, so that is our answer, option 3, material published by government. Okay, case study material also, if the researcher is collecting materials in the first hand or by himself or herself, we will consider it as a primary data. Okay, so here we can go with material published by government, which is a secondary data. Okay, next question. A hypothesis which assumes that there is no relationship between the selected variables is called. Okay, so if there is no relationship between the selected variables, what we will call that hypothesis? Very simple question. So here we have 4 options: contrary hypothesis, suggestive hypothesis, contradictory hypothesis, null hypothesis. Very easy question. The right answer is null hypothesis. And we use this symbol to denote null hypothesis, H0. Okay. Next question. The observation which occurs most frequently in a sample. Okay, if we take a sample, the observation which comes most frequently or most numerous times or most frequently, what we call that observation. And the options are median, mean deviation, standard deviation, mode. Okay, so we are familiar with the different types of averages, okay, and all. So I think this is a very simple question. We can go to the answer. The right answer is mode. Okay, median is something we already discussed when we arrange the set of observations in ascending or descending order. The value which comes in the middle part, the middle position is median. Okay, mode is the most frequently occurring observation in a sample. Okay, that is mode. Okay, so right answer is mode. Next question is a match the following. List one includes probability sampling, non-probability sampling, central tendency, and correlation. You have to match this list 1 with list 2. Okay. So list 1. First item is sampling. So here in list 2, we can match probability sampling with what? Of course, probability sampling is a random sampling. Okay, or random sampling is a probability sampling. So we can match probability sampling with random sample, A3. Then non-probability sampling. Okay, here purposive sample. Purposive sample is an example of non-probability sampling. So we can match option B with 4. Then central tendency. Central tendency here, median. Median is an example for central tendency. Then last option, correlation. Correlation, we can match it with Karl-Pearson coefficient. Okay, so our right answer is option 2, A3, B4, C2, and D1. Okay, so that is our right answer. Now let's go to our next question. Standard deviation is a measure of dispersion around what? Okay, what is standard deviation? And the options are mode, mean and mode both, median and mode only. What is standard deviation? It is a measure of dispersion around mean. Okay, standard deviation is a measure of dispersion around mean. And standard deviation indicates, or it indicates how much the data points typically deviate from the mean. It provides an insight into the variability within the data set. Okay, so it is a measure of dispersion around mean. Next question. Which of the following is a correct set of measure of dispersion? So here we have 4 sets of items here. So there, among this, you have to find out the correct set of measure of dispersion. Okay. So first set is range, mean, median, mode. That is not. That is false, because mean, median, and mode is not measure of dispersion, but it. So just a second. Sorry. Okay, so first option, it's clearly not the right answer, because mean, median, and mode is not measure of dispersion. Then again, option 2, mean, median, mode. Of course, that is wrong. Then third option, range, mean deviation, standard deviation. Okay, range, mean deviation, standard deviation. All of the items are example for measure of dispersion. Okay, so we can go with option 3, range, mean deviation, standard deviation. It is the correct set of measure of dispersion. Okay. Okay. Now let's move to our next question. Identify the type of sampling among the following in which the inferential statistics cannot be applied. Okay, so here 4 types of sampling is given. Among this, you have to find out the sampling in which we cannot apply inferential statistics. Okay, and the options are simple random sampling, stratified sampling, purposive sampling, and multi-stage random sampling. So here, in this options, simple random sampling, stratified sampling, and multi-stage random sampling. All these are probability sampling methods. Okay, so all 3 of these are probability sampling methods, and among the sampling techniques, each of the population, or each member of the population which we take, they has a non-zero chance of being selected. Okay, they all of the members of the population has an equal chance of being selected. Okay, and these all these methods allow for the application of inferential statistics. In all these 3 probability sampling methods, we can allow we can apply inferential statistics to make generalizations about the population. Okay, so these 3 we can apply inferential statistics. But on purposive sampling, it is a non-probability sampling method. Okay, it is not based on probability. It is a non-probability sampling method. And in this sampling method, the researcher select participants based on particular characteristics or criteria. It is not a non-probability or random sampling, but in this type of purposive sampling, the researcher purposefully selects each of the participants. Okay, and since it is not a random sampling and it does not represent the population as a whole, we cannot apply inferential statistics on this sampling method, because inferential statistics depends on probability theory. And here we cannot apply inferential statistics to generalize the findings to the larger population. Okay, so that is the difference, and the right answer is purposive sampling. We cannot apply inferential statistics on purposive sampling. Okay. Okay. Next question. In social survey, okay, so you have to find the correct statements regarding social survey. Okay. So the first statement is that methods of questionnaire and structured interviews are used to gather data. Of course, in social surveys, we use methods of questionnaire and structured interview. So, statement A is correct. Then B, standardized information is collected from a sample collected as being representative of the selected population. That is also true. We collect information, or we collect data from a sample, And what is the speciality of that sample? That sample is a representative of the actual population. Okay, so B is also correct. Then C, standardized information is obtained by asking diverse set of questions to all members of sample. That is not correct. We, how do we get actual or accurate data if we ask different questions to different people? It is not possible. So option C is wrong. Then option D, standardized information is obtained by asking same set of questions to all members of the sample. That is correct. We ask same set of questions to all members of the sample. So D is also correct. Then both analytical and descriptive perspective can be made inbuilt in social survey. That is also correct. Okay, so we can go with option A, B, D, E. Here, option 3. A, B, D, E. That is the right answer. Okay. Next question. Arrange the following steps of research from initial to final stage. Okay, so some no, 4 steps of research is given here. You have to arrange them from initial to final stages. Okay, so here it is given as review of literature, bibliography, primary data collection, statement of the problem. That is the order given here, but you have to identify the correct order. So what comes first? Of course, first you have to state the problem. So, statement of the problem comes first. D comes first. So, here itself we got the correct answer. You don't have to look at the other options because only one option starts with D in the first position. Very simple, you get the correct answer, but just look at the correct order. So, D, statement of the problem comes first. After that, we have to do literature review. So, review of literature comes after that. Then after that, we do primary data collection, option C. Finally, bibliography. So the correct order is D, A, C, B. Okay, so that is the correct order of steps of research given here. Next question. Arrange the sources of knowledge in order of their usage of performance in social research. So different sources of knowledge is given here. You have to arrange them in the order of how or order of their usage in social research. Okay, how often or how or which source of knowledge is used mostly in social research towards the less used one. Okay, that's how you have to arrange. So here we have reasoning, sense perception, intuition, authority, disciplinary. Okay, so these are the 4 options we have here. So among this, of course, sense perception comes first. Sense perception, option B, sense perception comes first. After that, reasoning. After sense perception, reasoning, and after that we can take authority, and finally intuition. Okay, so the correct order is B A D C. Okay, so that is our correct answer. Sense perception, reasoning. Next question. Merit of the interview method of data collection. Merits of interview method of data collection. First, it can cover a very wide geographical area. Is it correct? No, it cannot cover. Okay, interview method, it is not possible to cover a very wide geographical area because it is very difficult to go to each. Since you know, interview method is mostly done face to face, so it is very difficult to go to so many people and conduct interviews. So it cannot cover a very wide geographical area. Okay, so statement A is wrong. Then it can study quantitative aspects of any event. That is also false. It cannot study quantitative aspects of any event. It has limitations. Then C, it is an effective way to study abstract personal factors. That is true. Isn't it? Like by conducting or using interview method, since we are conducting this mostly in face to face, we can get so many deep or personal factors which we may not be able to collect using other methods. So interview method is a very suitable method to study abstract personal factors. So C is correct. Then it is useful in the identification of unanticipated aspects of the respondent. That is also correct. So we can go with option 3, C and D. Okay. Next question, simple question. SPSS is a computer application that allows quantitative data to be managed and analyzed. What is the full form of SPSS? Very easy question. So the right answer is Statistical Package for Social Sciences. Okay. Okay. Now let's go to our next question. So this is an assertion and a recent question. So the assertion is one of the most significant approaches to conduct ethnographic research on online communities is nethnography, which has been developed by COSI-NETs. And the reason given is nethnography is a form of ethnography because it entails the researcher's immersion in the online worlds under investigation. Okay, so assertion A, it is correct because ethnography is a very suitable or the most significant approach which we can use to conduct ethnographic studies on online communities, and it is true that it has been developed by COSI-NETs. Okay, then reason given here is also correct. Ethnography is a form of ethnography because it entails the researcher's immersion in the online worlds under investigation. So both of these are true, and we can actually say that this statement can be called as a reason for A. So we can go with option 1. Both A and R are correct, and R is the explanation of A. Because R clearly states that why ethnography is a significant approach to conduct ethnographic research online. So we can go with option 1. Next question, match the following question. You have to match these types of variables with their definition. Okay. So the first one is dependent variable. Dependent variable here. What is dependent variable? So from the definitions, we can choose option 3, which clearly define dependent variable. A variable that is influenced by another variable. That is dependent variable. Then B, interval variable. Interval variable here. A variable where the distances between categories are identical across its range. Okay, the distance between or the intervals between categories will be identical across its range. That is interval variable. Then ordinal variable. Here, a variable whose categories can be rank ordered. That is ordinal variable. Then finally, dichotomous variable. It is a variable with just two values. Di means two. So dichotomous variables are variable with just two values. Okay, so that is the correct answer. We can go with option 4. A 3, B 2, C 1 and D 4. Okay. Next question. Participatory action research or PAR is an example of what? We have options: public sociology, classical sociology, critical sociology, theoretical sociology, and sociology in action. Among this, participatory action research is associated with what, or it is an example of what kind of sociology? And the right answer is A, C, E. A, public sociology, C, critical sociology, and E, sociology in action. So what is this participatory action research? So in this research, the researchers work closely with community members or stakeholders or the population which they are studying. And why they work closely with the population? Because in order to identify problems, develop solutions, and take action for positive social change. So it is an example for public sociology, critical sociology, and sociology in action. Okay. Next question. The universe of units from which a sample is to be selected is called. What is the universe in which we collect our sample? What is the term we use to denote the universe of units from which we collect our sample for the study? Simple question. The correct answer is population. Isn't it? We collect our sample from the population. Okay. Next question. Detective study represents the commonest view of the nature of relationship between theory and social research. The chronological process of deduction. You have to arrange these steps in correct chronological process, okay, or the steps of detective study in its chronological order. And the options are theory, revision of theory, hypothesis, hypothesis confirmed or rejected, data collection, and findings analysis. So here, this is the correct chronological process. First comes theory. We start with an existing theory or general principle. Then we derive a specific hypothesis or a specific prediction from the theory. Then after that, the process of data collection, gather data to test the hypothesis. Then after that, after collecting data, we analyze the data and we try to find out whether it supports or reject the hypothesis. Okay, by analyzing the data, we tries to find out whether the data supports or reject the hypothesis. Then the step after this findings analysis, we either confirm the hypothesis or reject the hypothesis. And after that, if the hypothesis is rejected, then the theory may need to be revised. And if the hypothesis is confirmed, the theory is supported. Okay, so these are the chronological process for detective research. It starts with an existing theory. Okay, so we can go with option 2. A, theory comes first. C, hypothesis. E, data collection and findings analysis. D, hypothesis confirmed or rejected. And finally, revision of theory. Okay. Next question. What entails the collection of data on more than one case and at a single point in time? Okay, in which research design which research design includes the collection of data on more than one case and at a single point in time. Okay, single point in time is the keyword here. Very simple question. So in cross-sectional research design, okay, so in cross-sectional research design, that we collect data from a population at a single point in time. Okay, and what is the goal of, or why we use this cross-sectional research design, or why we collect data at a single point in time? In order to analyze and compare different variables to understand relationships, patterns, or trends within the population. Okay, but when it comes to longitudinal research design, it involves repeated observations or measurements of the same subjects over an extended period of time. Okay, that is the difference. In cross-sectional research design, it is the collection of data at a single point in time, but in longitudinal research design, it is over an extended period of time. Okay, so our correct answer here is, sorry, I forgot to mark it. I'm sorry, but the correct answer here is cross-sectional research design. Okay. Next question. Select the correct statement or statement. So here they are given 4 statements. Among this, you have to find out the correct statements. First, quantitative approach is given as post-positivist worldview, experimental strategy of inquiry, pre and post test measures of attitudes. All these are correct about quantitative approach. So we can approve option A. Option A is correct. Then B, qualitative approach, constructivist worldview, ethnographic design and observation of behavior. That is also true. Then qualitative approach again, participatory worldview, narrative design, open-ended interviewing. That is also true regarding qualitative approach. So option C is also correct. Then finally, option D, mixed method approach, pragmatic worldview, collection of both qualitative and quantitative data sequentially. That is also correct. So here the correct answer is option 3, A, B, C, and D. Okay. Now let's move to our last question for today. What is an approach originally developed by Dorothy Smith in 1978 to better understand women's everyday experiences by discovering the power relations that shape those experiences? Okay, which is an approach developed by Dorothy Smith to understand women's everyday experiences. And the options are case study, institutional ethnography, and participatory action research. And the correct answer is option 3, institutional ethnography. Okay, so this institutional ethnography tries to explore and understand the ways in which the everyday experiences of people are shaped by their broader social, political, and institutional forces, or how this social, political, and institutional forces influence everyday life of people. Okay, so that is the aim of institutional ethnography. So this is our last question for today. So we discussed some important questions from Unit 2 research methodology and methods. I hope it was a useful class for you. So once again, please go through all of the previous year questions and revise through all of your syllabuses, and all the very best for your coming examinations. See you in the next class. Bye.